Right, you've got a slug problem. This is the easiest and cheapest way to sort it out. You want some dried yeast. Doesn't have to be this brand, any cheap dried yeast. You want some normal sugar and also some warm water. Not boiling hot, just lukewarm like you get out of a tap. This is warm because I had a cup of tea earlier and it's still got some warmth to it. So what you want to do is get some pots. They can either be little Tupperware pots, old yogurt pots, cheese, Philadelphia pot like that, tuna can, something that sort of size. Okay, then what you do is you get a larger container such as a glass or a jug. You roughly measure out 1 teaspoon. This is to make 1 cup, so like this sort of amount of liquid. You want 1 teaspoon of yeast, 1 heaped teaspoon of sugar, any type of sugar, granulated, brown sugar, whatever. You want to fill that cup up with warm water. And leave that, give it a stir, mixing all the yeast with the sugar. What will happen is the yeast will start to eat the sugar and start the fermentation process, which will turn the sugar into alcohol. So just like you've probably heard of a beer trap for slugs, this is the same thing but without the cost of buying beer. So this will produce alcohol, the slugs will smell it. What we're going to do is pour it into these containers, and after we're going to pour it into containers after they've gone into the ground, which we're going to show you now. Okay, so we're out in the garden, we've got our containers, we've got our yeast liquid. Leave it in the house for about half an hour to start the fermentation process. Then what we'll do is, I'll leave the liquid over there for now. You see down here we've planted some lettuces, and because it's near the wooden edging and the rhubarb plant over there, there's been some slug damage. There's some slugs living in this area. So what we'll do is, you want the pot, the rim of the pot, to be the same level of the soil. So you just dig a little hole and then smooth the soil around like that. Doesn't matter if a little bit drops in there, just so it's easy for the slug to come up. Just so it's easy for the slug to come up to it and drop in. What happens is the slug, once the liquid's in there, the slug will come, it's attracted to the liquid, the smell, it will fall in and drown. So we'll get the liquid, the yeast and sugar and water mix. You put enough in there like that, about half a cup's worth in that container, and then we'll come back in a day or two and see how many slugs we've caught. Okay, so I'm further down the garden. We had some onion seedlings in here which have been eaten by slugs. So we also are going to put another container here full of our liquid. The odd bit of soil in there doesn't matter. We just want the top of the container to be roughly level with the soil, and then we pour in the rest of that mixture, and then over the night, maybe tomorrow night, they'll we should have a good few slugs in there. Okay, if you'd like any more videos, we've got a little small holding here, so we've got I grow a couple areas of vegetables. We've got a polytunnel, we've got turkeys, and in the field to my right we have some geese, a few breeds of chickens, and we also back here where the pallets are, we have pigs. We raise a couple of pigs for meat in there every year. So if you'd like more videos of any tips about this sort of thing, gardening, raising animals for meat and what have you, eggs. Right, we're back out. Right, it's been 1 day since the last video, and as you can see we've caught, focusing on this, we've caught 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slugs. They're all quite small ones, but as you can see there's some of the crap in there what birds have been chucking in. As you can see, it works. Dead slugs. So I'm going to empty this out, do it again, and I'll just keep doing it till we stop catching them.